Hey all you goofy goobers and skibbity skibsters, welcome back to some more JToH content, keeping it fresh with something that's actually pretty original today, I'm going to say. Today I'm wondering what would World 3 look like in JToH? What should it be like in JToH? Let's actually find out, and make sure you subscribe, because if you don't, there will be no World 3. It's determined by you subscribing, definitely. But anyway, hope you enjoy, I hope you like my ideas. Feel free to let me know your ideas in the comments, and yeah, let's get into it. So, let's start with the concept. I think if the JToH devs really do want to make World 3 like the last world, I know they've been talking about World 3 being like the ultimate world or something, and they really need to move away from like the environmental concepts and stuff like ground to space and like heaven to hell. We've already seen that. We see it in towers as well. So I think that the new concept of the world should be maybe the element of time. I think time would make for a really cool thing to actually explore in this game, and I think the area progression should represent the progression of time itself. It's just a unique little idea, but I think a progression through time in JToH would actually look really cool, and it would be interesting to see that happen. I'm gonna say that this world is split into 12 realms, which we're gonna call them eras because it makes sense, because it's supposed to be time. And the eras are gonna be Young Earth, Prehistoric Era, Stone Age, Bronze Age with the potential of an Ancient Egypt subrealm, Iron Age with the potential of an Ancient Greece or Rome subrealm, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance Era, Industrial Revolution, the earlier 20th century or Atomic Age, the present day, the Singularity, and the far, far future. Now, yes, I am going to admit I used Self Singularity as inspiration for some of these eras, but we won't mind that. I think each area should have its own identity and should be set in a different geographical location every time. It doesn't have to be like accurate to real life. It can just be like a different like, I don't know, another dimension that kind of is a bit like Earth. Doesn't have to be like, you know, ancient Egypt or like Africa or like Europe or whatever. It can be its own place. But yeah, just so they're in different geographical locations, it would be a bit boring having it in the same location every time. I think, although sometimes that might not fit the theme, the towers should go from classic to hypermodern as you progress, to really kind of make the time progression thing feel a bit more immersive. And I also think there should be roughly 20 towers in each area. While this could be a bit of a stretch and it will probably cause a lot of lag, I think that because it's intended to be the last like proper world in the game, it should be a little bit bigger than like both the other worlds, I think. It also kind of makes it feel a little more intimidating, as it's supposed to be like the big finale of JToH, if they still plan on World 3 being the last world, that is. I think that the requirements for this entire world would be something like defeat all 4 Guardians in a boss battle. I'm not sure if this is already confirmed to be the way to unlock the third world. It might be, but I do think that even if it's not the confirmed way, it makes the most sense. Like, why would they have like the whole Guardian lore be so complex if they're not needed to unlock something major in the game? Like, it just kind of makes the most sense to beat all the Guardians in a boss battle. Like, they wouldn't hype it up so much if they didn't want you to do it to unlock something major. And in fact, let me give you some reasons as to why some other popular unlock schemes wouldn't work. Beating every tower in the game prior to World 3 is a requirement that people bring up a lot, but in my opinion, it is just purely ridiculous. Like, there's only a small handful of players who are even capable of doing that, and so if you ask them to do that when the world does release, it basically just narrows it down to about 10 people that are going to actually be able to play it, so that's a stupid idea. Someone even suggested making it almost like a DLC and putting a paywall behind it, but that would be a little cruel for JToH players. It would make them bank, to be honest, but no. JToH's always been a relatively free game, and we don't really want to change that. I think when you consider that basically none of the game's content besides boosts require any payment, it makes the idea seem more stupid. A paywall would never work in JToH. let's talk about how to progress to other eras. In theory, if a player has already defeated the 4 Guardians, then they shouldn't really have that low of a skill level. I think as the presumed last world, it's going to be much harder than the others, so I'd say the first difficulty requirement would be maybe difficult/challenging. I think this world should be the first to use SC win barriers for its last 2 eras, but considering an SC is quite a big ask for quite a few people, they can choose any SC from any world they want, because you know, it kind of makes it a little bit more free to, and for people that have only able to beat difficulty chart, it makes it a little bit easier for them. So, you know, it's not like any major task unless you're like that bad at the game, or you got there by VM, of course. Well, I believe that the lore almost speaks for itself, as it's supposed to be like a journey through time, but I guess there could be some kind of lore, like maybe an artifact or something that the protagonist or the player might have to protect, I don't know. Or maybe something that references to like the previous time periods in some eras, I don't know. I just think the lore kind of makes itself, and you can easily tell a story with the time periods just progressing. I think that it could have some kind of running story that could have an effect on the game. I'm honestly not sure. Maybe I could make a follow-up video of my plans for what the lore of this whole world should be, but if I'm being honest, like, purely the fact that it is a progression through time alone would probably make it probably quite a heavy reason to not need to worry about writing any more lore. Just kind of make up your lore as you go. But yeah, that's, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to release another video explaining more of that. Well, the JToH devs have a serious crisis right now in terms of area development. So, in my opinion, they just kind of need to focus on everything in the first 2 worlds at the moment, especially Zone 9 and 10. Like, they just need to focus on those first, then do anything else they wanted to do in the first 2 worlds, like maybe sub-realms, like the Ring 7 and Ring 8 sub-realm I think they had plans for. They need to finish everything they want to do within the near future in the first 2 worlds before they focus on World 3, otherwise it's not gonna release very fast. It's gonna be procrastinated a lot for other projects, so I think that they should prioritize the first 2 worlds first. And the amount of content and development needed for at least this kind of World 3 would be tremendously larger than a lot of the areas in the previous worlds, so I really think they just need to finish what they're doing first. I don't see World 3 probably even being started until like 2026, if we continue with the current pacing of how content's getting released in the game so far. It's like a new area like every 6 months. It's honestly getting slower and slower and slower. The JToH devs, if they carry on at this pace, I don't think we're going to see World 3 till like at least the mid to late 2020s. So yeah, that's, I mean, obviously some people don't really care about Zone 3, so it's honestly fine. But yeah, they definitely need to sort out their area releasing. It's almost gone into a mini rant now, but yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I think I've really appreciated like sharing my ideas here. I hope you guys have appreciated listening to them as well. I actually hope you guys have your own ideas, so you can share them with me in the comments for the kind of progression of World 3, because I'd honestly be very interested to hear what you guys have to say about that. And this could actually be a really good idea for the JToH team here. If they just sorted themselves out, they could definitely make this happen. And yeah, I think you should recommend this video to everyone you know that plays JToH. Get the word spread a little bit. Get this as the main developed worlds in JToH after they finish. Get this as the idea, because this would be probably the most interesting concept for World 3. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out to everyone out there. Goodbye. See you later.